Ladies and gentlemen, my name is AJS0 and you missed the intro. Welcome to the Baddy Overwatch League Season 5 Draft Night. We're so excited to be here.
Oh, yeah.
I fucking love this game. It's going to be me, Albino Joe, Cal, aka Hook Resets, 30, and UTech breaking this down. And I think our team owners are just kick in. Team owners tonight, as you can see, T McThor, MyWang, Galnier, Think Twice, and Hibbs. And so for those of you real quick that are maybe new to this, every team owner has a fictional salary cap of $20. This is an auction draft. Everyone just goes to the highest bidder. We have various tie-breaking rules, but it's generally just goes to the highest bidder. And you try to make an Overwatch team better than Jeff from the Overwatch team.
Huh. Impossible. Jeff from the Overwatch team couldn't even draft his own Overwatch team from Jeff from the Overwatch team.
Are we getting meta with that or what?
Think about it for a second. Think about it for a second.
I'm so confused. Anyway, Danko on the docket right now. Everyone, pay attention. This is a big draft pick.
I'm going to go out and say this. Josh Danko's going to be one of the disappointments of the league for a second season in a row.
You might be... Well...
That depends off of how much he's drafted for. If he continues to be drafted for such a high amount, and I mean...
Well, let's think of it this way. Of our owners who are drafting, they have no idea what is going on in the game currently, and they are going off purely from stats of last season. And if you look at the stats from last season, Josh Danko almost got to Grandmasters. Does that fall into any category of how his team kind of didn't really do much? Who knows? Maybe they can use him for something this year.
Yeah, I don't think that he's going to be a bad player. It's just, I think that 3950 number that everyone saw is going to captivate two of these team owners into bidding an absurd amount. And there are so many insanely talented players in the league this season. I think you have to have two superstars to be a competitive team.
Well, or at least round it out. Like you can't just have one diamond in hopes that it's going to carry.
You cannot round it out. That is a huge mistake we saw multiple teams make last season. You have to actually have two top-level players to be competitive at all in this league. And I think this bidding is going well past the $9 mark. If it stops here at $7.50, it won't be as bad as I initially thought it was going to be. Which it may.
Value.
I don't think there's really any. There might not be any player in this league who's worth that much with how many good players there are. So $7.50, really good pick for Josh.
I will say if the meta goes as it is, well, the lack of the meta, his ability to actually play Doomfist fairly well will be a great boon to whatever team he's on. As long as people can follow it up with something else, he can definitely be a great displacer.
Yeah, Josh Danko, see the rest of his team.
Plenty of skill, but you need 5 other players on your team in order to win a game. So we'll see if Josh Danko is stuck with something similar to last season, or if he'll have a little bit higher caliber.
It can't be worse than last season, right?
I would not say that at all.
Well, let's think of it this way. Josh Danko has to be a lot happier that he did not go for the $10, $10.25 that he went last year. So the team that he's on definitely has a little bit extra spending cash.
Yeah, by the way, guys, for those of you that haven't been around for any of our other leagues we've been running, we are officially a Twitch affiliate. Please mash that Twitch Prime button. It's going straight to the AJS0 college funds, and I need all the help I can get. Mm-hmm. You get this dank Swain B1 clown emote that you've all been waiting for. And
I ain't donating to that.
We've got to Mighty Wolf on the clock. What's going on? Why? Did I miss something?
All right. So let me give you a little down low. Mighty Wolf is now that he's drafted early, is a sleeper pick. He last season on Zenyatta, he was a fragger. He may not know all the positional awareness, but he has great mechanical aim. And if you can get him on for a reasonable price, I'd say maybe around like 2, 3. I mean, $4 maybe would be pushing it a little hard since he doesn't know how to like all the intricacies of the game. If you allow him to do what he does best, which is just pure mechanical skill, he can help you win so many team fights.
For 250, is that a bad price? I don't.
It's an atrocious price.
I think it's
Oh,
inflated.
no,
Yeah.
I think 250 is a great price for Mighty Wolf. Like
Having UTech, both of us having played on a team with Mighty Wolf, we know how good he is. But there are 6 players on a team, and the average per player?
The Mighty Wolf was what, the weakest player on your team?
No,
I wouldn't go that far. No,
Or second weakest?
He was not.
second or third maybe. But yeah, not above the
This
average
seems like
cut,
a case
maybe.
of one of the weaker players on a team getting maybe more credit than they were due, when I think your team did well because of No Wonder, because of UTech, because of Albino Joe, because of Heron.
No Wonder was not
real quick, though,
able
that
to be
pick
focused
went
because
to
of that team.
Thor, right?
Yeah.
Correct. Well, anyway, moving on. Batmel next up in line, the DPS Soldier All-Star of Tide Pod Challengers, going for $1.75 so far.
Woo! And Mel's like actually a really strong communicational leader, and she's very flexible. She will play a lot of different stuff for you, and I think she's a good early pick. We'll see for how much she goes.
Definitely.
But
Do
a
you
very
guys
good
know
player.
what she has been primarily been playing lately?
Tanks and supports.
Tanks and supports. So definitely a good flex pick, it looks like.
Yeah, if you pick up Batmel, it's one of those picks where it's just early in the draft and you're not committed to putting them at any position. I know I've always traditionally been a huge fan of in pretty much all of the leagues. She's kind of dropping the DPS stuff recently, which I think was a smart decision for her because we have so many excellent DPS players. But if you can be a strong tank support flex, it just opens you up to draft whoever's talented later in the draft because you know you have Batmel on the roster that can play either position fairly well.
Yeah.
Well,
and
already going up to $3 though, so not a bad start and not a bad pick for if you have a full coin purse.
Yeah, props to these owners. They are not fucking around today. No one's waiting till the 2 count to toss their bids in, like we sometimes see in previous seasons.
I think they probably have a pretty good idea of how much they want to spend on them, and as soon as it ends, and they're just cutting off, which is nice.
And,
Speeds things up.
Can we say that for the first 3 people that have been drafted, that is actually really fast. I think our owners actually know what they're doing this time around. That's a first.
Is that possible?
Yeah. I've always said that if you don't know what you're doing in the first round, like regardless of how it plays out, you just didn't prepare at all as a team owner, so I'm very happy that has not been the case so far. So no one's
pretty
drafted
early
multiple
on.
players yet. Every season I always wait to see if somebody's going to draft like 2 of the first 3 players.
Definitely
Evie.
shot in the air.
TV junkie.
Scary player.
I'm not seeing TV.
We're about to see he's a Widow player, isn't he?
Yeah,
Yes.
Hanzo Widow player, so he's a sniper specialty. Has Genji, McCree, and Tracer also listed for DPS heroes, so kind of meta. You can either play that double sniper comp or fit into some kind of dive composition.
Especially with the changes to Hanzo, he's just so good right now.
Oof.
Oh my god.
Those arrows, man. Those logs. Logs to the face. Everyone's got to be afraid of that. That's why I hate Hanzo. Those hitboxes are dumb.
Hey,
This is first season as a non-emergency sub.
Correct. He played that one late season match as an emergency sub last week for I believe it was Blabby's Dabs.
Yes, he replaced Senpai and absolutely clapped. Easy clap.
I think he
Absolutely
showed-
clapped. He played with his LAN teammates and he came in and he did what he does on LAN and
Hacks. Put an asterisk next to that.
I think he showed everyone that one spot on Blizzard World first point you could abuse back in the day. Is
Yeah, I
that
was gonna say you
patched?
can't anymore. Yeah, it's patched.
yeah, unfortunately, it has been patched.
Dumb. Anyway,
Yeah.
he's going for a lot. $6 so far.
Yeah,
already
this.
coming up to the $6 mark.
I mean, he is one of the higher ranked players in the league, and his hero pool is very relevant for the DPS players
He's
nowadays.
one of the players. If the bidding stops here, then I'm gonna just be wrong about this. But he's one of the players going in. I actually thought was in a lot of danger of being overdrafted, because traditionally Baddy League owners have this awful tendency to really overrate somebody that played one series. And I just don't think in a full season he's going to be as good as he was in that emergency substitution. It just seems very unlikely to me. And so if he gets drafted and has to play at that level, I could see it screwing a team. But if this kind of equalizes in the $6 range, which, yep, it looks like he was just sold for $6.25, that's a pretty solid price.
I think it's fine.
Not bad at all.
For a one that could be the best Widowmaker in the league besides 30, you know?
Yeah.
That's a
You
great.
know,
The best
pickup.
Widowmaker in the league.
Yeah. Gonna be a scary player for sure. Someone to be watching, and we'll see if he's able to be built around as a team for Hibs.
Oh, the big man himself, 30 is up on the draft.
No.
How high are we going?
Well,
boys?
Already at
30
five, already at six.
$6 within
Yeah!
2 seconds of being drafted.
I don't like that.
Oh,
Speaking of the best Widow in the league,
I'm diamond.
hey.
Look at it.
So,
I'm
all
done.
right, I want you guys to know. All right, this 30 is just the best DPS we have in this league. You know, nothing can ever take away from his dynasty.
Oh
And
man.
I just
The
want to
best,
see.
the best.
He is the best, the best, the best, the best.
I'm still
the
that good at
best.
Tracer.
I mean, we're gonna see a couple SDs into the well from your Tracer, I'm sure, this season. I don't think that's gonna sway any of these team owners' opinion of you, as you're sitting at 725 right now,
750.
or 750. Sorry.
775. He's
Oh,
going up.
Jesus.
I
What was Danko at?
Can we?
That
Can we
was
he was
750?
750. So
You're
I'm
now the
thinking
most
No.
expensive
currently
player
You're
so
better
far.
than
highest.
Josh.
going to 8.
Get out of here!
Going 8. So, we should probably let you all know. In the meantime, since the fall of the Wombo combo sniper meta, 30 has fallen into diamond, and yeah, so good
Yeah,
good
super
use out of
bad.
that money.
Stop.
30 is also
Stop.
playing tanks in solo queue.
He's playing tanks
Super bad.
and all this other
Don't
stuff.
draft. Danger
He's-
alert.
I mean,
850.
I don't know. Is it
Oh my
is it
God.
worth it? Is it worth it?
I'm
It's
getting
probably
anxiety.
worth it.
I'm having panic attacks.
It's probably worth it. But
Well,
is
okay.
it worth it?
Look at the extra value you add other than your rank. 30. You are the calming team, shot caller voice for everyone to listen to.
I like to think emotional leader.
Exactly. You have added value aside from just your rank. So of course you're gonna go for more than Danko. No way
I
around
actually
it.
agree. I think 30 should be the most expensive player in the draft, as much as he doesn't want to hear that. I think 30 is the only player that we can say definitively is a safe choice, whereas every other top player we've seen question marks about. There is no bad roster once 30 is on it. And that's just not true of all of our other elite players. He's good in every meta. Like he knows how to get the most out of his teammates.
All right, think twice. What you gotta do now is draft the rest of the emotional players / tilters. You gotta get me. You gotta get Heron. You gotta get all the tilters. And 30 will rally us. 30.
Oh.
Save
Oh, okay.
us.
Think twice. Hey.
And that's a storied history of drafting Master Splitter in the SBL every season and hoping for the best. So I am excited to see that continue into the BOL.
Yeah. At the end of the day, you're getting a great value out of 30, no matter what. Win or lose, you're gonna have a fun time.
With a
Hook
know.
resets.
Bad player. Not good.
Insert weeb noises. One of the only few known Genji mains turned Mercy main, turned back to Japan. Definitely has had his ups and downs throughout the past seasons, but still known for his Genji play.
Think Twice is Hook Resets is probably the top player that scares the shit out of me the most. To be honest, as the idea of having as a teammate, I think where if 30 is the safest bet to know exactly what you're going to get, Cal is the player I'm the least confident in knowing what you're going to get. And if he commands another one of those $7 price tags like he did last season, I think his team had a very difficult time finding out how to have him at his most effective. And I think he's a very confidence-driven player. And when that goes badly, it goes very, very badly for him. And I do think it was a huge part of why Tide Pod Challengers wasn't able to win more games last season. I would not go super, super high on this bidding, which right now we're in about a reasonable point. But if this goes to like the $7 mark, I would be very worried for his team.
I don't know, $5 Mercy Main. Feels good, man.
Mercy
But
main, by the way.
if it stops at 475 here, no, it does not stop at 475.
Oh,
Probably.
Wayne coming in with the steal, bringing it up to $5.
I mean, in a world where TV Junkie, who's the next higher rated player, is 625, I mean, it does make sense that Hook Resets would go for, mid $5, right?
Nah.
I'm
This-
trying to use some
No
sort
big
of
deal.
logic.
No big deal.
And Wayne gets you.
Yeah, Wayne for $5. So starting off his roster, definitely the best Mercy you'll have.
That's
I don't know if we've ever had a season where the first 6 picks have gone to 6 different teams.
Yeah, exactly. I was about to say that.
That's really
exact same
crazy.
thing. It's really crazy. Yeah, usually there's one owner who plays it really slow and like let the other people battle it out, but everyone's slotted in now. Are these the
All right.
players that these owners are trying to build around?
Thor's
Uh,
definitely lost the first round.
No, I actually think Thor won the first round. But of course, we'll different opinions just
Yo,
because
it's a Mighty
I
Wolf, because I
value.
know you're listening. I just want you to know I really like you, but you're probably going to take a lot of heat this season as a 250 player. Because I got a point, and I'm committed to proving it.
I think it's right on the line. We'll see.
I'm
That
gonna
should
be on
interesting.
I'm gonna be on the exact opposite of that, Swift. After this draft, we're gonna have a gentleman's bet. It'll be like see who can build him up. I mean, if he's on my team, I'll build him up. If he's not, well, yeah, I'll probably be right there with you trying to shit on him just because I want to win.
Oh, okay. We gotta talk about No Wonder.
Wonder going for
the
625
Wonder Boy
already.
himself, guys. Let's hype this guy up. This guy plays on an open division team. I don't know if he still plays on Core Phoenix.
No,
That's right.
Rocks.
I
they're
did
taking a
the
break
research,
currently.
dude. I've actually watched VODs of him
But,
scrimming.
Dude,
Other
this,
open
this
division teams.
this guy right here should be $8 to $9 easily. Like, if you guys are not willing to shell out that much dough for this guy, because he has strats, he knows how to play DPS, and he can definitely help carry a team.
He's one of the best players in the league. He was an absolute monster last season. He was the most responsible part of his team, Easy Clap, making second place. He was in the running for MVP, and he might have even won it. I don't actually remember who won our regular season MVP last year, split. He either won it or he was like one of the
He was
first
in
or
the
second
top
runner-up.
3 for sure.
Yeah, he was in the top 3.
Yeah, he's really good. I mean, private profile, by the way.
Yeah,
But,
this guy right here has a private profile.
He
So all right,
doesn't play
maybe
a
he's
lot
not
of-
worth that much, So maybe like just $7. He's not really that good.
He doesn't play a lot of solo queue, but I know he scrims a lot, obviously, because he plays an open division team. So I don't really know what he's been practicing on. If he was like that Tracer main, who is a real sad boy since Tracer got nerfed. But I'm guessing he learned Widowmaker based on the heroes he selected on the draft sheet. And he probably plays Brigitte. Usually Tracer players filled into that in the GOATS composition, which he is a very big fan of. So we'll see how big his hero pool is now after being a one trick for so long.
Yeah, that would be the only thing that concerns me with him is last season honestly, I don't remember any moments of him playing another pick than those top 2, his Widow and his Tracer.
But you didn't need to back then. But nowadays you have to. You can't play Tracer into Bridget. Like you shouldn't. It's gonna
Gal
get abused.
Crams. Gal Crams gets him for 775, rounding out his team a little bit more. I think both those DPS slots are filled now.
With Batmel?
No.
Batmel is
no?
playing tanks and supports.
Ah, never mind.
Yeah, she
Dano
has
the
that pocket
Mano.
soldier. That's pretty
Dano.
much it. Which
Dano the
hype,
Mano coming up.
get the soft throw hero in the chat, soldier.
All right, let's talk about Dano for a little bit though, because here right now with what's going on in the meta, Ana is becoming a bigger and bigger factor in games. If you think about it, Dano was able to get to Diamond when Ana wasn't meta. And just think of what he can do with her now that she is becoming more prevalent in games.
I think wasn't meta is an understatement. I think Ana was just the worst healer.
Yeah, back then, but Ana is big time meta. Big time
Oh
good.
no, for sure. Now for sure.
Yeah.
That bonus to her ultimate, as well as kind of the shift in the meta a little bit, totally worth it. Play Ana. Going for 450, 475.
He didn't have a great season last season on Jeff from the Overwatch team. I don't think that was generally his fault. He had the most characters played, which was pretty silly. I think some ridiculous number of like 20 or something.
Yeah, everyone knows him as the support main, but he can definitely step into the other two roles a bit too. He plays just an absurd amount of heroes, and he could pick them all at a BOL level.
Oh.
And he's going back with his buddy Josh.
Oh no!
The
Jeff from the
swing-
Overwatch
back.
team part 2?
It's okay. They have like $4 more to spare than they had at this point in the draft last time.
Oh dear.
Exciting.
Solid pickup though. Yeah, these teams kind of just looking at all these rosters so far. You know, nothing too absurd that I'm seeing at least. Then again, we also have a lot of unranked players this season, even though the season's coming to an end. Just a lot of people that haven't played.
But they will now. I mean, they're just waiting for this draft. There's people who have said like, yeah, I'm not gonna start playing until the draft. So
Yeah, and
we
that's one
should see
thing-
that play go up.
I think that's one thing that's great about the Baddy Overwatch League is it's very different than the SBL, where in League of Legends, if you stop playing for 4 months, the game totally changes past where you were, and it's very difficult to get back into the swing of things. Overwatch, honestly, you can play for a week or two and be back up to your previous level. Unless you have a character that just became absolute garbage and was the only character you can play, you can kind of play this just in the BOL seasons and maintain a similar skill level, which I think is one of the reasons why we've had so much fun with this league.
I mean, it is the friendship league. We have to have fun.
It is the Baddy Friendship League. That is the theme of the season, folks. Friendship is not magic, it's better.
Is it forever?
It could be forever. It depends which team I'm on.
I don't know.
Which
What
of
is
these
love?
toxic teams do I not want to end up on? I guess as long as I'm not on Team Gallier, I'll probably be fine.
All right.
So far,
wait,
which
who's
is
up
the
for,
toxic
who's up for
team?
draft? AJS 0 ship player should not go for more than $1.
Oh man, jack them up.
Oh, you're up.
Jack them
Oh.
up.
Yeah, I am up.
People,
I don't know. I'm hoping I don't go for too much, but I know the selling yourself short on the stream never actually accomplishes anything. I was super burnt out after about the halfway point of this offseason, and I haven't played Overwatch in a bit. So I'm a little concerned. I'm doing a lot of things right now. I'm going to be a student again, so you're going to have a student trying to play the game, not a old man that only works full time. So I will definitely have less free time than I've had in previous seasons. I hope I get drafted accordingly.
Hey, that youthful exuberance benefits esports gamers.
Exactly. I'm saying I don't have that youthful exuberance. $2. Cap it. Stop the bidding. I could change the right permissions in this channel so they can't bid on me anymore. Oh, I should do that.
Are you? I mean, I guess like you said, you haven't played the game in a lot, but you are one of the de facto Mercy players in the league, and Mercy is still good. Still good in the right comps on the right maps. Looks like you also play all the other good ones.
Yeah, I like to think I'm
Your hero
good at
pool is
everything.
very good and relevant. I also like players that just focus on one role, except some of these players don't have those hero pools that I would look for. If you have all 3 colors in your hero pool, you might be doing it wrong.
That actually scares the hell out of me. I don't like the 3 role players. That just means they're not good at anything.
Yeah.
Oh, didn't you
Unless,
just say
That's
Gale was
right.
a three-role
wait, hold
player?
on.
What the fuck?
Unless the green is Brigetti, if you have 3 colors. That'd be my only caveat.
Yeah, no, there's definitely exceptions, and most of our like high level players, like the 2800 plus players that play 3 roles, it's very different. But if you're 2200 and you play 3 roles, that's like panic button. Hit all of my panic buttons.
Hey, so you're sold for 2. That's
I'm
just
really
didn't
happy
cap it.
about that.
Yeah,
I'm really
that
happy
seems like
about
the right
that.
price. That actually seems like a extreme value to me because of your shot calling and your communication that you add
It
to your
does.
team.
And I don't want to take credit for anything, but Cal was on my team in season 3, MVP runner-up player. Cal was not on my team in season 4. Boosted bargain bin. I'm bringing Cal back.
Oh God.
Hey, if I was there for that playoff one, we would have gone to the finals. That's all I'm
I
saying.
agree, but
Yeah.
this is it. This is our run back season. But let's talk about Zed. $1.50 mistake. That is literally a worse version of me that can't play Mercy and also plays Reaper. That's a double negative.
Yeah, he's a 3-color guy too. So it's
Let's be honest. Both you and Zed are going to be playing more WoW than Overwatch, so nothing over $1.
We should have had a Bader's Anonymous checklist on this spreadsheet to just know, like, this player is currently playing Battle for Azeroth, will not touch Overwatch for the next month.
a Boolean value, WoW player or not. Yeah. Hey,
But
I'm not a WoW player, guys. Yeah.
I know Zed's going to be very excited to be on that team. He's been very frustrated to get so many new people that he's never met into this league and then not be able to play with any of them. So, congrats to Zed going to some new teammates, playing with Josh Danko, which is it is an adventure. Playing with Josh is memorable, even if it goes poorly. But I thought Zed was fairly underwhelming last season. And so I don't think $1.50 is an awful value, but I think that like round 6 of this draft, we're going to be looking at different players that go for 25, 50 cents and think that maybe that pick could have been held off on.
Yeah, there's still a lot of really good DPS players out there, actually.
Yeah, that's the
Between
thing. Is there are
Senpai,
so many good players. I think Freefee is the big player I'm keeping my eye on.
So does anyone know who Killian is?
Yeah,
Zach.
that's I'm just Zach or simply Zach or AA Donis. He's had a lot of different IMs. Very low level, but you're kind of gambling. He's a very competitive guy. You're gambling on him kind of taking Overwatch seriously and pushing things as his team's bench player. I don't expect anyone to drop a bid here. I think this is Think Twice just being told by 30, hey, grab that guy as our bench player now.
No. Never.
Congrats,
Did
dude.
you play like fantasy football back in the day, or still do? People do that still? Is that a thing?
Sometimes.
I used to.
Every year.
Not anymore.
That's why you're so insightful on these.
Wow.
Sometimes
Yeah.
you just gotta bait
Zach's
out
gonna
picks.
go for 0.
Zachary goes for 0, back to Think Twice.
But he has to take the caveat that he got picked up in the second round.
It's not really a caveat in an auction draft, though. I know some people get really excited about that. I think it's always strange.
At least he knows who he is rooting for. That is the big thing.
The only time to think about, when you go in the draft is, how much money you're going for. So, like, more towards the end of the draft, you're going to be kind of worth less because people have less money in general. Or you're the last pick and you're worth, like, the most because they have, like, $6 to blow and they didn't do their draft right. And, you're a player like Zeticus or something like that. I don't know.
Who's this asshole?
Pretty important player, as it turns out.
Yeah, UTech. Hitting close to, Masters or something?
Very, very good player.
Very close.
I think everyone realized it last season. That well, first of all, UTech is probably one of the safest picks just because he's one of the few guys that has actually been grinding Overwatch a lot. My pick to be the best tank player in the league this season. And
Third time
unlike
Uh,
DPS, there is not competition at tank. Destructive Dude may be the only guy that's going to be comparable of our returning players, and I think with how much UTech has grinded and improved his SR, and Destructive has barely touched the game, I would be shocked if Destructive plays at the same level. You know, Jim not playing in the league this season, and then there's kind of a gap. So I think UTech, we might see this price keep skyrocketing because unlike the DPS players where maybe you wait, you get two similar players for half the price, you will not get a similar player to UTech very easily.
Keep in mind, Danko marked tank as his main role, although he's probably not going to be playing that.
I consider him a true flex. I would expect like 50-50 tank DPS out of Josh.
Yes. Excluding him, for sure, UTech is going to have the best. He's going to be the best tank hands down. There's no one who can contend with that. Wayne coming in hot was 625. Get him.
Yeah, I think the bidding might stop there.
People are kind of low on money at this point. So.
all right, sorry.
It's been done.
You're a fucking piece of shit.
Damn.
E-Tech and I
Yeah.
are gonna be on a team together.
Remember to
Bored.
slap
This'll be interesting.
Killian on the list.
Wow. Are we already developing a feud between Team My Wang and Team Thor?
Wait, rivalry?
Yeah, rivalry. You know,
Oh,
we
yeah.
have AJ0 calling out the Mighty Wolf. The Mighty Wolf. Haven't looked at chat. I don't know if he's saying anything, but it's Friendship League, guys. Come on. No wonder already went, Timmy.
No wonder
what are
already
you
got
doing?
picked.
What are you doing?
Another one.
There's
Another
only
one.
Didn't copy.
You fucking disappoint me. Ooh, Valk.
You know what? I heard today was a very special day for Valkyrior. So I think maybe we should all say it in unison.
Have you ever tried to sing Happy Birthday with latency? Very difficult. Very, very difficult. But for those of you that aren't aware, it is our buddy Valkyrio's birthday today, so spam that Twitch chat with some happy birthdays. I'm really excited for him to have his birthday, where he is being completely overvalued right now.
think. With
I
so
don't think
few
so, because
tanks, I
with
think
so
he's
few
still really good.
Yeah, with so few tanks, that's yeah, that like getting him for like $3 is actually a really good value for him.
I think $4 would be, like, still solid, but over that might be dangerous. He hasn't been an all-star, but he's very clutch.
Well, something else to note. Although he is one of the very few tanks that are in this league that are, skillful and can hold rectangles, he's on call every other week, so that might affect some of his availability in the.
What does that mean, though? Because
Well,
I'm on call too, but I can get off for an hour or so for a match.
So he is a locksmith, so it's like
Oh.
somebody calls and like, hey, I'm locked out right now, and he has to be like, I'll be there in half an hour.
Ah.
So it could potentially affect him where he would maybe leave, but it's fairly rare in off hours from what I've known. But 325-30, he's going to your team. So, you asked me about my other tank play. You didn't ask me much about Valk. I think you're going to have Valkyria on your team, and it's going to be his birthday.
Oh man,
Yay.
happy birthday, Valkyrior. When is Happy Birthday Valk gonna be an emote?
already an emote in our hearts. Happy birthday. Oh, pretty interesting draft so far. A lot of people are starting to run low on money. Timic only 625 left. My Wang 675 left. Everyone else with the
We haven't
decent
even
amount of-
said anything about Chromatic.
Whoa, Chromatic coming back from
Oh!
retirement.
Wait, what?
Chromatic's
So
back.
let me tell you about Chromatic. So Chromatic was a Masters player once upon a time, and then had to do lawyer shit because he is better than you, and more important. So with that, going off on his super awesome, mega cool lawyer adventures, he's like, nah, I'm too busy to play this game Overwatch. I need to do real life shit and make money. And now he is back with a vengeance.
He's
Oh
very,
boy.
very good.
Yeah. I've known him since 6th grade. Yeah, it's like Dan level synergy with me and him, but I don't think this is happening, unfortunately.
I expect Thor to take this one.
Yeah, he seems like the obvious place to go here.
But here's the kicker though. Don't expect him to carry anything because he's been out of the game for quite some time. So unless you're able to pair him with someone who's actually been grinding the game, you're not gonna see like he's not gonna be like the driving force behind a team. He's gonna be a very good mechanically skilled player, but he's not gonna be like the oh hey, we gotta do this or we gotta do that.
Well, who's to say it's not like riding a bike, Like, give him 2 weeks to get back on the horse, and then he'll be, at 95% of where he once was.
Because he's playing WoW.
Yeah, I
Oh,
was gonna say
shit,
he
he's
is
in
one of those
BFA, no!
greasy.
Bust,
Yeah,
bust.
he's a greasy WoW player. I'm the one who like showed him World of Warcraft way back in the day, and he got super addicted. So I still feel bad about that.
30, aren't you a World of Warcraft celebrity?
What?
You have that video on YouTube with like 100,000 views.
Oh shit, dude! I do. Yeah, it's like over 100,000 now.
What?
Link?
Yeah.
When
Oh,
we were-
let, me,
please?
let me get this shit going.
Yeah, dude, drop that in general chat on the Discord. Everyone. Well, we have a pause, so we're actually gonna have a chance to break things
To
down.
watch
a
the
bit.
video.
Is,
So
to watch
nice.
the
this
video.
was is brought to you by 30s Past, where he had a World of Warcraft video. But hopefully, it had a cover of Linkin Park.
No,
better,
it was
better.
the oh, it's way better than it's that one song. Holy shit! I don't know if I have a link to this, guys. I have no
This
idea.
might be Twitch muted, so I don't know if we can play this on stream. We don't want to fuck with that.
The hamster dance, was that a song?
Yeah, it was a song, dude. It was the
That
hamster
was
dance.
yeah. It's a machinima. It's World of Warcraft characters dancing to the hamster dance.
And it's
song.
like pure 2007 YouTube.
Yes.
Guys, I don't know how to find this, honestly. Like
What? What do you mean you don't know how to
All right,
find it?
I
Alright.
left my past behind, Albino Joe.
What?
Yeah. Unlike some
you don't
people.
leave 100,000 views on a YouTube video behind you, 30.
The funniest thing was it was like 2014 and we were drunk in our apartment and 30 like mentioned having made this video when he was young, so obviously we dug it up. And then after we watched it, we were like, God, that was awful. We saw 100,000 views and 30, he did the 30 squeak thing. Like, what? That has that many views?
Yeah, I had no idea. Like that's the thing. I still don't know how many.
All right,
views it
we
has.
got one here from 11 years back in 2007. It has 540 views, but nowhere near the 100,000 you're talking about.
Wait, what's the one spooky linked?
Oh, that's some Swain traditional music. No cock like horse cock.
Guys, I have no idea how to find it. Let me ask some people.
What do you say?
Did
was
it
called?
have game cab in the bottom right?
Yeah, it was the free cam shit.
I'm gonna message this to you, 30. We're gonna get confirmation, folks. We're gonna get confirmation.
This is what's necessary. This is really true.
No, that's not it.
BOL.
Damn.
Google Foo is
Okay.
failing us.
Oh,
Our
here it
Google
is.
Foo.
Oh, okay, it's only 63,000 views.
That rounds up.
It was brought
Round
to you
up.
by Netflix Productions, which was my production company. Where do you want me to throw this?
Just throw it in
Discord.
general
Twitch
chat on the
chat.
Discord so everyone can see it. Twitch chat, yeah, dude, this is some history right here. Oh god, that aspect ratio. We're 2007.
That's only 480p.
Go add a nice 40 views to this.
Yeah, Yeah, CLB modeler 4 years ago. It's incredible how this video makes me smile every time I waft it. Watch this every day for 5 years. Apparently, Jerry Sorilla.
I'm upvoting all these wholesome comments.
Holy shit. I should probably save this or something.
Yeah, you would never want to lose this. Alright, we are unpaused though, so thank you everyone for joining us for some machinima. We are unpaused. The bidding is currently it's somebody at 550. I don't know if it's Thor or Think Twice on the tiebreaker.
That'd be Thor. Thor on the tiebreaker.
Alright. I would be shocked if this does not take another bid. Alright, 550 to Thor. We are back on the clock, fam.
Think Twice is gonna bid up 575. If he takes this, he's really almost completely out of money with this pick, actually.
Yeah, this is a bold move, Cotton, but
yeah, why'd you tell him to make that bold move?
I don't know, dude. It's friendships forever to me, Swift.
36 after the Ninja Players experience, you will do anything to play with people you like, huh?
Oh.
All right, and that's a sold. Chromatic and 30 on the same team. This, to me, this is even more exciting than Josh and Cap'n ending up on the same team last season. There is big hype on this team now, regardless of who they round out the roster with.
4th place.
30 doesn't get 4th places. He gets top 3s or bottom 2s.
Yeah, I'm not some middle of the pack bullshit. I either lose or win.
I can relate. I've usually either lost or win myself.
I just finished watching that video. That was beautiful, 30.
Yeah, thanks.
I'm just glad you guys had all the Night Elves synchronizing their dance.
Yeah, some of those guys were just complete randos in that one area in Stormwind. It was like a weird empty area. What is that area? Can anyone identify that? Yeah.
No, that was not. Maybe that was one of the banks. Hey, guys, you should tell Wang to open the bidding on Twitch plays the Baddy League draft real fast.
What? Twitch plays the Baddy League draft? Someone just goes for $20 out the gate, dude. That's how that would happen. I'm concerned.
It would basically just be the first 6 players would go for $20.
So let's look down this list. Who are the really good players? Like the insanely good players left.
Okay.
We've got Freefy's the obvious one. Senpai's still up.
Destructive Dude's still up there.
Destructive and Albino Joe, or maybe like that next step down.
We have Sam.
Sam is a sleeper rookie. Yeah, she's a sleeper rookie.
Oh, she?
Yeah, she is a sleeper rookie.
Is that
actually very
referral?
good? She has that's my referral. She has a very good game sense. Knows how to play Zenyatta, knows how to play Mercy well, can play hit scan.
That'll come a little bit later because we got the big gun coming in. Freefy. And after 30, this is my second safest pick of the draft. We saw Freefy last season play every different type of DPS at a very high level, and the only thing that I think can derail this man is if he was serious about becoming a Wrecking Ball one trick.
Oof.
Seriously though, he's good. He's just performed like every single week he's played as far as I've seen.
Yes, he's a monster. He's played every single week, no matter what role his team required him to be. When a lot of his team was playing similar stuff, he was kind of that flexible DPS player that could round things out as necessary. He's beasted me on LAN every time we played against Daddy's Dabs. He's an incredibly good player. I think 7 is the right amount for this man.
At this point in the draft, yeah. If you got the money
where a lot of our top players have been kind of losing SR, he has maintained Masters, it looks like. I think 7, and for Thor especially, who needed to grab an elite player soon, I think this was the right pick.
Yeah, and he still has $10 to play with. He's actually looking pretty good in the draft wise.
Actually, he needed to be the one to pick him up because he does not have any of the high caliber players yet. I mean, it's only Mighty Wolf and Freefee right now on his team. But as you were saying before, who are the elite players left on the roster? What, Senpai is probably the last cut above everyone else. Then after that, there's probably a big power gap. Sam might be in between again, in my personal opinion. She's a rookie. Nobody knows how to value rookies for the most part. But after that, like you said, Albino Joe, Destructive Dude.
Yeah, you're getting at the very least non-elite DPS if you didn't get free fees. So
otherwise, I would say Kazuki would actually be a very, very competent support, just because she has gotten into Diamond before.
she's a little ball of rage though.
That is true.
Is that good or bad?
Well, it
Little bit of
depends.
both.
If you're able to channel that
But
ball.
anyways,
rage-
we have Destructive Dude on the clock and being bid very fast, already up to $4. As we were talking about earlier, one of the few tank players that seems reliable, also a shot caller.
Yeah.
Also loud as fuck. You will not miss this guy's calls because he calls at 130% Swift volume.
Yeah. In my
Dude.
notes, I have emotional leader. He's really good in that aspect. I think that's pretty invaluable. It's one of those intangibles we always talk about in these drafts. So
Having played in a LAN against him in the same room, screen peeking or whatever, screen sniping, Twitch sniping, whatever you want to call it, you hear all of his call outs. His voice, you're not going to miss it. You got to turn him down probably 10 decibels in order to just understand him without your eardrums bleeding.
I'll never forget casting Dragon Ball Fighters with him. I had to tell him after the first match, dude, that was exhilarating, but I'm worried about your vocal cords if you try to keep that up. That is how this man lives his life. He is loud and in charge. One of the few elite tank players. With UTech going for 625, if you get D3 in the $5 range, I think you got a smart pickup.
Especially
And
for a tank player.
Hibbs is keeping his trend alive of keeping friends together. Remember, TV, part of Daddy's Dabs that plays on LAN. Destructive, also part of Dabs. That is a solid core that I think Hibbs just put together.
He's trying to bring the Daddy's Dabs back together.
Yeah.
As well as much as he can.
That is a lot of money, though, out of his
Freefee already
piggy bank
gone.
for 2 players. A third of his team has cost him over half of his money. And I don't even think they're that, TV Junkie, yeah, up there, Destructive Dude, yeah. Unrated this season, pretty good in previous seasons, but still.
But, basically every team you can say has spent over half their money on 2 players, other than
Yeah.
Thor so far.
Oh, shit, Destructive was
That's
32.
accurate of-
Never mind, I'm dumb. I did not know Destructive was 3,400
Yeah,
last
dude,
season.
He's
fucking
a good player.
Yeah,
Whoa!
he's a good
He-
player.
he's like a legitimate
Whoa!
tank player.
The hell?
I'm not talking him up for fun. I don't talk people up for fun.
Oh, man.
And something to note that I think is really important, he is one of the few players, I think maybe the only other player besides Josh Danko who put Wrecking Ball in their hero pool, which is a very good pick. Potentially in the future right now. It's gonna be cool.
Well, speaking of the Beast players, we're knocking them all out here. It looks like Freefee going on has started the champion run back as Senpai is coming up next. This guy was the 1B to Freefee's 1A for our champions last season. He's a player I'm really excited to watch because Flabby's Dabs was so good last season that it was almost hard to tell who was the driving force of their success. It's possible that Senpai is a better player than Freefee. To me, it didn't look like that, but it didn't look definitive.
But it's someone you could count on to make a clutch play. Like when Freefee wasn't firing on all cylinders, Senpai was there to pick up the slack. So
yeah, and no matter which team he ends up on, he's going to end up with good players. He's going to be playing, he could be playing with Freefee again. Actually, if I'm Thor, I consider going hard to put those two together, which Thor is currently bidding this up against Hibbs right now.
that's a scary DPS combination.
If Senpai goes to one of those two teams, that team is Blabby's Dabs too, isn't it?
Pretty much,
close.
They have to. It's like a sequel name. They have to. It's the same thing.
You have to draft Blabuer, who is in as a player, and do the sequel.
Yeah. Okay, 650.
I'm
Oddly
actually surprised.
aroused right now.
Yeah, they're not going for more. Like that's very like Hibbs.
Wow.
Man, that's a strong lineup you have right there. If you get sent by.
That is
But
a
he's going to
great
Thor.
pickup.
Thor's getting
Creepy
it,
and
though, yeah.
Senpai back in action.
That is an amazing pickup.
I didn't think this would happen again. I thought people would have learned.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That's going to be scary.
Yeah, we'll see what they round out their team with. This team, only $4 remaining to pick up 3 starters still. The Mighty Wolf definitely going to have to be the player you guys were saying he can be for this roster. And this team has $4 to figure out who's going to tank for them.
Since there is a huge gap of power level from the higher end tanks, the other ones. I mean, $4, you're gonna be easily find a tank.
Here comes the rookie.
All right, finish telling me about Sam.
All right, so here's the fun thing about Sam is we actually had, I believe it was her and another one of her friends who were helping us with the VOD reviews, and they met them in a random game, and Sam has quite a bit of positional awareness, and by quite a bit I mean more than any other person who is at her SR. So
Just to put in, I'm sorry, I have to just blurt this
Oh, yeah,
out right now
no,
to
go
put in
ahead.
my 2 cents. So she's actually the one who actually taught me how to play Mercy properly. So I, having been after the season where I came off as the best Mercy in the whole entire league, realized that you can cancel Mercy's jump or her guardian angel by just pressing shift again. She's the
Wait.
one who told me how to do that.
You didn't know that? You didn't
I
know
didn't.
that?
Holy.
I did
Fucking
not.
bad.
So she coached some of our team. We played a couple practice games, and she definitely called me out on that really, really, really bad.
Oh,
and
man.
it made me a better Mercy.
One of the nice things you will get out of Sam is that she will be able to help the team build, and no matter what, she has a lot of game knowledge, and although may not be as mechanically gifted as people who are higher SR than her, she definitely has a good head on her shoulders.
She's also just a great shot caller.
Wow, if I'm on your team, I'll fucking talk shit about your gameplay all day. All right. I like that.
That is literally how the coaching was. There was no positives, all negatives, and I learned from it. So
That's good. $3 for a pretty high ranked rookie. Going
All right,
over to
sold.
Galnier.
So, gonna be 3 players down for Galnier.
what? We're roughly halfway through the draft at this point. Getting close to halfway.
A little bit lower than that. I think it's more of a third, but maybe.
Yeah, every team has 3
about a-
players. Well, except for Hibbs.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, we're pretty close. We're just under halfway. We're at like 45%.
Still,
Oh man.
Aaron.
going for $3, not bad for a rookie with not much known about you. Going for $3, not a bad price.
All it takes is one person hyping you up on stream. Well done, UTech.
Yeah, really.
Sam sounds like she'll be a good complement to that team, from what I know of the playstyles of No Wonder and Batmel. But Heron, a very variable player in my experience.
What do you mean by variable?
All right, let's talk about my boy Heron. He is the best DPS player. He is the best Pharah in the game. If you're not playing Pharmacy Dive with him, you're not playing the game right. All right? He is going to fuck you up no matter what happens, you're gonna win games with him. Like, I don't even know why he wasn't even drafted before for $10. I mean, this guy right here is the best. And if you're not willing to spend more than $10 on him, you're a fucking piece of shit. So go put your money on him.
Yeah, the only reason he looked good is because No Wonder was able to take out the back line.
No. Heron was the one that carried No Wonder. No Wonder could do nothing. It was all Heron. Look at how many plays of the game Heron got.
Farrah presses Q.
I
Play of the game.
already think Heron has gone over his value.
Oh,
What?
I
Boy, Farrah one trick Heron, dude.
yeah, I
No,
think
no, no,
350
no, no.
is absolute fucking insanity for somebody who. It's potential that he's not even one of the 10 best DPS players in the league.
If he goes over $4, I need to fucking take a shot because this is ridiculous.
that might be happening. There's
This is
people-
ridiculous.
I know. I guess yeah. There's 3 owners going for this right now.
Yes, he's
Alright.
a DPS player. Yes, teams need a DPS player, but
Is he the only air threat in the
He's-
league? The
he's,
only one who's up
There's
in
a
the
better
sky?
Farah who's still available.
Who?
Tree.
Oh,
better subjective, equivalent, I will say. But still,
I will
you are
not say
correct.
equivalent. I will debate that, but we'll wait.
Is-
Tree is coming, and I've done my best to keep his value down because Heron is going to Team X team for
Yeah.
375. I'm gonna just say this right now. This was a problem with Josh's team last season. I think Josh really goes hard to get his friends on his team. He is friends with Heron. I wouldn't be surprised if he was saying to Team X, to go hard for this pick. So this is Josh saying, I have the confidence that Heron is a very good player, as good as UTEC says, and we're going to prove that right together.
No, I think Heron is actually a very, very good, competent projectile DPS. No matter what you put him on, if you enable him, he can perform. But that's the thing, you gotta enable him.
I really
So
don't want to
for-
compare them this Team X team that much to the previous team, but for comparing Heron to Kappen in terms of how useful they can be, it's hard to say who will just be better.
I would expect Heron to be worse, but Zedekis is also already a better player than the other 3 players
other
who are on that
3.
roster.
Yeah.
And they have 250 remaining. At this point in the draft, they were already broke last season.
True.
So
Oh, hey,
I
here's
think they're in a
Evilite.
significantly better place than they were last season. Evilite is one of the most intriguing players in the league to me. This is a guy who will probably be a starter for whatever team he's on. He's not going to be one of the best players in the league, but for like a 50 cent to $1 player, he's shown glimpses of pretty solid play, and he's somebody I think will take the league somewhat seriously, especially if he's a starter. It's one of those picks that like you just have no idea how to feel about if it's early in the draft. And I'm not surprised to see that it's his 2 real life friends kind of bidding this back and forth right now, probably coming to a similar conclusion.
I mean, much like his friends too. I mean, Zachary, aka Base Force Kylan, whatever the hell his name is. Competitive edge, not really good at the game necessarily, but is totally willing to practice and kind of get some skill to fill out that roster a little bit more. So, picking him up for cheap is kind of low risk. If they get him for $1, cool. You got a starter who's probably going to try hard for $1.
Very solid. I think a very solid secondary DPS specifically. He will shine if the focus isn't on him.
Yeah, and every one of these teams has a DPS player that'll keep some focus off of him. Looks like he's going to be playing with TV and Destructive for 75 cents. That's a reasonable selection.
Yeah, I think that was a great pickup for the team. Cheap second DPS slot. Who else is going to fill it, right?
They're also still ahead of everyone else in terms of the money with that pick.
My wing up, looking to fill out that AJS UTEC Hook Resets roster. two of the casters in here on that team. That is probably why it's quiet right now. A little bit of coaching, eh?
Little bit
I'm
of.
trying to update multiple spreadsheets in the background. Actually,
As well
this has
as
been
that.
a fairly fast-paced draft, and it's been hard to keep up. To those of you that are new to the Baddy leagues, this is a point of the draft where a lot of the people in this channel start trying to give advice to their team owners about who they want to play with. So we apologize if it goes a little dead.
The last man
But,
standing.
I don't do that like I used to, really. If the bidding starts going on somebody I absolutely despise, I'm gonna tell Wang not to touch him. But I've tried to draft a lot of teams and it's never worked. Maybe I gotta just sit back and let somebody else do it.
Let the free market decide.
All right, let
AGS
the free
Zero.
market decide. The value of Albino Joe.
Oh God.
Put
Why?
it out. Get him, Wang. I'm facing all of my demons this season.
Oh Jesus Christ. Swift.
This
would be
the
was
third
last
season
time
in a
we
row.
teamed together.
Albino Joe and
The
you
Wrath of the Lich King raid.
Oh my God.
Can we start calling you Mother Tree now?
Ah!
This is multiple seasons running best Mercy in the league.
Mercy's
Overwatch has it
garbage.
all-
They reduced her healing by
Joey,
50%.
That is
not
Joey,
absolutely
garbage.
I
not
Not
can't
garbage.
quit you.
They reduced her healing by 15%.
All the supports are viable. All the supports are viable. Who are you going? Are you playing with someone that's a sniper?
No.
Okay, then it's not as good, but still okay.
Exactly. Actually, I don't
Joey's
care
been-
whose team I'm on, as long as I'm not fucking $2. What the fuck?
Joey has been an outstanding support, and I expect to see one of these teams go fairly hard here. I think Yelnia or Hibbs is going to end up trying to go for this, which we do see they both toss some bids in so far.
I think Hibbs would actually get more value out of Joey just because they do need a someone to be able to heal, and not only heal but be a competent healer. And I think that's the big thing going right now, is that you want to get the people that even though they're mid line, they know how to play the game and they know how to at least survive, so that the people at the top can actually, like, they'll get their picks, but if you can survive out of all of that, you're able to just at least get some healing out. You're going to be getting your worth and gold.
Yeah, I would be shocked to see this bid stop at 250.
But even then, it's not. Joey, look at the upsides here. You're not going for $4, or yeah, it was $4.25 as you did last year. So not as bad. You're getting some good value out of it.
Yeah. I'm just not going to comment.
Is it just done talking about?
Yeah, Joey's just panicking. He's like, I don't know what to feel.
I'm so over this.
Let's be honest. He is the number one Mercy main in was it past 3 seasons in a row? 4 seasons?
Yeah, you've seen Joey in different environments still be the same caliber of player. That's the big thing. You can rely on that.
Oh, Evil like got drafted? I totally
Yeah.
missed that. Holy shit. What did we say about him? Do I have anything to add?
He's a nice
75
young
cents.
boy. He's the unluckiest League of Legends player I've ever known.
True.
I hope his luck doesn't continue into this league.
I gotta go take a piss.
This
I mean,
is
I'm still gonna say
gentlemen.
too much, way too much.
Too much?
This is the
No
season
way.
where I face my demons.
The reason why
Welcome
I
to the
say too
caster
much
team.
is just, if you look at how much money is left in this round, for 275, trying to go for something like that, I feel is a bit too much, because right now you have contesting main healers, unless you go double main healer with AJS and Albino Joe.
You are way too stuck on that main healer thing. You just picked up the best 2 supports in the whole league on the same roster. I'm super excited to play with Joey, because this means I can actually focus on practicing my Zenyatas and my Brigidas, because I haven't been able to in previous seasons, because I've always played with people that have needed the main healing out of the Mercy. Also, holy shit, the casting is going to actually be fucked this season.
This is
because
tragic,
all of us are on the
actually.
same team.
Oh man, we should have had like a rule against that or something. No more than 2 production staff or something. Oh no.
Can we have our team name be the production staff?
It
On the
could
bright
be.
side, like the games that we aren't playing, there will be plenty of people to cast. There's 2 other games happening, so we can fill out.
All right, now he's just got to pick up Thrifty or Tree. That's all he's got to do.
Wait, so that means 30 gets to cast every single one of our games.
Yes,
Hey.
that actually is accurate.
Hype.
Yeah.
He's bringing the gang back together.
All right, Thor, you have to draft this man. That is Blabber. You may remember Blabby. He had dabs. They're the reigning champions. He took BOL Season 4 off just because he was kind of burned out from doing so many baddie leagues, and he's always been more of a League of Legends player than an Overwatch player. But for those of you that aren't aware, in 1 week he's going to play the final SPL championship ever, and then maybe be done with League of Legends, or at least the super tryhard League of Legends phase. This is a guy who is just generally good at video games, and I think is a very reasonable pickup. He hasn't played much Overwatch recently, but this is a guy who pretty much picked the game and immediately jumped to that level 350 that you see. He's somebody I expect will get back to a good level again. I thought he was better than his rank when he played. And you also, if you draft Lab, you are guaranteed to be the best at one thing, and that is the Baddy League meme in-game. And there's a lot of value in being the best team meme.
Yeah,
Especially
like
in the
see you in the
friendship
finals. He had plenty of other choices. I think we had to go with C in the finals. Or there was like 3 or 4 of us who were really wanting it. That's so long. That was so long ago, Swift.
It was long. It was a very long year of Overwatch in terms of where our time off fell. And I'm really excited because, as I just said, the Swain Baddy League is playing its last match ever next week on Tuesday. And then we don't have to try to schedule around that league ever again. We will have much more flexibility about when the future BOLs are, and I think it's going to be great for this league. And he is getting bid very high here, actually higher than I would have guessed.
Yeah, this appears to be kind of the start of the slow bid, where people are kind of feeling out. They don't really have a game plan. It's kind of winging it at this point with all the people that are left. Blab starting at 0, going over the course of a 7-minute period to, 2-minute periods, 275. Gallier.
Yeah, Blab going to Team Gallier, playing with Wonder, Sam, and Batmel. And just as some context so I can continue being excited about this last pick, would you have rather had Blab for 275 or Albino Joe for 275, guys?
Fuck ass.
I mean, Albino just played more, so probably him. It would depend if your team still needed a tank or a support, though, more than anything. I don't think Blab for 275 is that bad, though, either. I think for Galnier's team, who doesn't have a clear tank, maybe Mel.
Yeah, Blab could be one of the best tank players remaining.
Yeah.
I mean,
So I think it's fine.
I do have to say, though, a man whose highest ranking was 2573 versus a man whose highest ranking was 3192.
Well, that's what we're saying, Joe. You went for a very good price.
Yeah, that's why I
did.
said I'd prefer you.
I did. I take my rating, guys. Joke's on you.
The whole time.
JK, I'm actually just bad.
And with so many players left, everyone's so broke. Players are gonna.
This has kind of been a trend in the Baddy Overwatch League. We've seen teams blow through a lot of money early. It's some seasons it works out. I think it worked out all right this season because I think the talented players all went off the board early enough. Unlike last season, where I think there were a bunch of talented players heading into rounds like 3 through 5, and that's where Blabber picked up all of Blabby's dabs. I don't think anyone's going to make that kind of a late round steal again this draft, and that's a good sign for the league because it'll keep things competitive.
Who would be a late round steal
Who
at this point?
are the best players remaining? We've got
Is Tree still up? Tree?
Tree,
I think Crystallized is really good.
Kazuki Beans is probably one of the highest rated players left. Huckletune, who was one of the best support players in the league last season. And then you're kind of guessing on which of these players are going to be practice junkies.
Do you think the best tank would be between Salvo, Spoopy, and Spagooter left? Maybe Splinter?
Yeah, I think you're probably in a rough place if for picking up tanks. At this point, I think you're going to see some people go pretty aggressive on those guys.
I think you literally just named the remaining tanks.
Yeah,
Like,
I named all the remaining tanks. They're the best tanks, though. That's what's
Yeah.
important. I mean, Cruz is also a tank player, if I remember correctly.
well, there's still good news.
He's
If you're
fine,
looking for support still, though, Kazuki and Huckletune are actually, I think, a cut above the average still in regards
Yeah.
to the support role.
What about Swoopy Koopa?
What about
He's
Spook Koopa?
switching. Oh wait, are you saying? Are you
Is he
looking for supports
becoming
or
a
tanks?
Zenyatta main?
No,
Talking
he
about
is a
tanks.
tank player. He filled in
Okay.
in Zen because he needed to last season. He was on my team. He's a great guy. Works hard. Good
All right,
team
well,
player.
speaking of those support players, we got Kazuki Beans being opened up. So one of our other rookies, one of the highest rated rookies, or probably the highest rated player left, actually. She's been over 3K, which is not true for, I think, anyone else remaining. Or, well, actually, you know who else has been over 3K? TK Thrifty. But we'll get there when we get there.
All right. I'm
Well,
just gonna say this once. Galnir, you need to draft her so you can have the girl squad.
What? Wait, who are the remaining Scarlets left? That's it, right?
checkers.
Checkers, too.
Checkers.
We
Yeah.
have 5 girls in the league this season, I believe.
Well,
Unless I find out somebody else is a girl, too, which, could totally happen.
I mean,
Cruise Master with the great reveal of 2018. I don't know.
Who's in
Here's-
transition?
Guys, I have a good story. The solo queue game the other day. First thing I say, the guy responds, "Oh great, we have a girl on our team." I speak into the mic for the first time, and he goes, "Oh great, we have a girl on our team."
30.
Yeah.
That's...
I hope to see this bid go a bit further. $1 for a 3K player is just absurd. Even with how low the money is here, I think anyone that needs a support player should be bidding this up. I would be screaming
Yeah.
at Wang right now if we didn't have me and Albino Joe kind of locked in at those slots.
Hey, man. I got that tank roll, Look at my hours. I also have Bone Spurs. I was
Yeah,
trying to
look,
dodge this draft
like,
in the first place.
if,
so.
if anything, Thor
what
and Hibbs
is
should be
that?
the one that's bidding her up because Thor
You don't have what is
definitely needs a main healer, and then Hibbs also needs a main healer. So those two are going to be added again in their little feud for the best of the the best of the worst. I don't know, the best of what's remaining.
Yeah, I mean
Um,
that's an amazing pickup if Hibbs or Thor gets her for under $2, in my opinion.
I know it says it here on her notes. One potential issue with her, she lives in Hawaii, so scheduling practice is going to be a
Ooh.
little more difficult with her because she's 5 hours behind Central Time, I believe.
Exactly, the Aleutian time zone.
But
I had a
also,
vacation there recently. It's very nice.
a more minor thing is she's going to be playing on higher ping than she's used to on any team because if I played with her, like just her and I end up on the Pacific server, and I hate it. It's even worse for her to end up on the Central server where she's probably playing over 100 ping,
That is true. She
which would be
does
true
have
for all
coconut
of
in
her Wednesday games. So hopefully a minor thing, but it is something to keep in mind here. But still, $1.75 would just be a mental price and a huge steal for Hibbs, who needed a support player of any type and just got one.
So
Again,
like,
still the most money.
I think
Great
we
pickup.
can say that because with Kazuki, we now are actually becoming more international. Because although we're still in the United States, it's not the mainland.
Yo, we already have an international player in the Baddy League. His name's Cal.
That is true. A very
Oh,
international
no,
player.
you are true. That is true.
I almost played an SBL game across the the ocean. That might have been
ping, though.
scary.
Yeah, I think that's a great pickup. And going off of that, lag, like the ping issue that she's going to be dealing with, her mains written down: Mercy, Zenyatta, Moira. Those 3 players for the most part. Yeah, Zenyatta, you're not going to shoot Pharah headshots, while she's in the sky, or Moira, you're gonna have a hard time locking on people. But the rest of that is not, it's not that big
If
of
you
a
had to
deal.
play high latency, Mercy and Moira would be two of the best picks in the whole game, and
Yeah.
I expect to
Yes.
see a lot of Mercy out of her. So I don't think that's gonna be a devastating issue for her.
And Huck,
and here we go.
last MVP
You think Hibs
support.
just takes this?
All right, let's talk about Huckleton, because if you think about it, Huckleton is actually a really good support to grab, because he outright refused to want to play Mercy in the Mercy meta.
But didn't he?
And then played it anyway.
And then he had
Yeah, you'd be fucking dumb not to.
Mercy
God.
was just way too powerful.
They
But-
lost one map. Never
Who was it
again.
from this team that talked about how steadfast he was against it until he played a single map against it?
Yeah. Against my team. Then they continued to beat us twice, but we came back in it later in the season, so.
I don't know. It's free real estate right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I expect to see somebody drop the majority of their remaining cash here. Huckleton is very good last season. Not a team captain or a shot caller, though. Just so we're all aware. There was
Which
a
is kind of odd in the support role. He's usually
But
there's not a lot
I
to
think-
do.
I think we should all bring up that just keep him away from some of the booze, or at least too much of it. He has a tendency to take off his shirt, and although he's very ripped, he has a six pack. Stay away from
Jacked.
him. He's super fucking jacked. Like
He's-
I don't know how to say it. Like I'm pretty sure if he leaves his shirt off for more than like 5 minutes, every girl in a 1 mile radius is getting pregnant.
he's
I'm
a
not.
Swain party survivor, man. Like
He is.
I know that feel. It's
Like,
an honor.
He's fucking swole, my dude.
Well, he's also a swole fucking healer. I mean, I think he's one of the top supports. For sure, the top 4 or 5.
Easily. There's an elite tier of support that's like 3 or 4 deep, most likely. It depends on how some of these new players and role swapping players do, but he is in the elite tier of supports. I think he is the best player remaining any role right now. And so when you look at it in that context, 250, I think support players have actually, I think all of the elite support players have actually gone cheap. Wow.
Yeah, supports have been very underrated. It seems
And
in this draft.
congrats to Hibs for wrapping up Kazuki Beans and Huckleton and immediately fixing that support position. He's still got 350 left to take whoever he'd like. Hibs is drafting super well.
It's a
Yeah.
very
Oh, yeah.
well-rounded team.
He's
He
just
has-
looking for an off tank and it doesn't really matter too much what his off tank is, because Destructive Dude is just a force of nature who's going to be able to tell whoever he gets what to do, right?
That is true. I mean, but Diva and Zarya are a little bit more mechanically difficult than, the other main tank roles. So
Oh, we got Salty in here.
Salty, aka he has another name he goes
Dan.
by. I
Dirty
think.
Dan.
Dirty Dan.
not
Ooh,
not my
Dirty
Dan.
Dan? Not you, Dan?
Dan.
Dirty Dan.
Not Dan. Dirty Dan.
Okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Don't draft and think twice.
What is he at?
We can
I just
call
want you
other
all
Dan
to know-
Clean Dan.
I was
This is chip.
camping in an electronic festival last month, and there was a point at like 3 a.m. one night where all of a sudden I just hear somebody at one campsite start yelling, "I'm Dirty Dan! No, you're Dirty Dan! No, you're Dirty Dan!" And I just heard in every direction, every campsite start yelling, "No, you're Dirty Dan!" As far as I could hear in literally every direction. If
It
Dirty
went
Dan is
on.
not that caliber of player, I'm going to be disappointed.
That went on for like practically an hour too.
Yeah, it didn't stop because people were fucked up. And
God.
he's going for free. So this is a true unranked player. High rank, current rank, both NA. But he is level 350. So this could potentially be a steal. Sometimes you get players that just don't play ranked. And then you kind of want to just go by, well, who's actually played the game the most? So for a free pickup, this could end up being a very good pickup for T-Vic. Also, Team Dan, there are 3 Dans on that team with Dano22 and Heron.
Dan synergy, man, it's important.
I'd watch 3 Dans, 1 Cup.
Dirty.
Always.
Ooh, Thrifty, the next highest
Okay,
player
Thrifty.
who's left.
All right, speaking of players that have been over 3K, guys, I can be a bad friend sometimes.
All right,
And
I
when
want
TK
to.
Thrifty
Oh yeah,
placed
3061.
to diamonds, I was legitimately angry because I could not believe he fucking placed into diamond before I had ever been there.
All right, let's
Just good at
talk,
games, man.
Let's talk about
Big brain.
he has a fucking big brain. He's gonna have 900,000 IQ plays, and he plays Mei a lot. Now I want you to know something about Mei right now is that she's actually very good. She is quite the sleeper pick. Like I'm not bullshitting here. Like
His
this
May is actually very overrated.
this
I don't think he's even in the top 3 or 4 Mays in the league. And
Oh,
I think
I
he's
have that many
probably
Mays?
going to.
But you have to understand is that Mei right now is actually very good just because of how much she displaces people.
Wait a minute. I really want to know who's a May who's better than he is in this league.
Senpai, probably.
Senpai. Blabour is the new, the returning May main. Like Zedekis, he wasn't even I don't even know if he's the best May player on his own team last season. I think Zedekis might be a better May than Thrifty. I think Thrifty is substantially better at that Reaper pick than he is at that May.
I'll agree with that,
What about
but I still
Bash?
think he's a great May too. But that's just me.
The problem with Thrifty is he has very niche DPS picks, and he has to be a DPS player most likely, unless he really puts in some work to maybe be his team's Mercy. And that was the problem for him last season, was that he was with Tree, who also had a very niche DPS hero pool. Whatever team Thrifty ends up on, currently looking like he's going to play with 30 and Chromatic, he's not, well, maybe he's not going to play DPS. But if he is playing DPS, he's going to play with guys that can play a majority of the picks, so he won't end up in a situation like last season where it was no one on this team can play hitscan. But I'm actually really curious to see what that team ends up doing with him. Maybe he turns into the Mercy player for that team. Which is one of his top picks he has listed. He obviously didn't have much of a chance to play support playing with myself and Zed last season, but for a 75 set player, I mean, I do think he is one of the most talented players remaining, and he is at least a smart player, even if he isn't super experienced in Overwatch. I think he's going to turn out all right for Team Think Twice.
All right, where is Wang thinking for Wang and the Fluff crew?
You know, hey, just to fill out last thoughts on Thrifty going to Think Twice's team. Yeah, there's no healers on that team right now. He's got those DPS slots rounded out. There's no way TK Thrifty is going to be playing DPS on that team. He's got to be filling that healer role.
You know, I actually like this pick for Tree. Tree is actually, I mean, if he can go for a small amount, he is actually a very good player in his own right, because not many people know how to play against his Junkrat.
Or Farah.
Or Farah.
He's the demo expert.
Yeah, Tree's potentially the best projectile player in the league, but unless you put him in like an off-tank role, he doesn't play much else at all. And I think this might be the pick where everyone drops their remaining money, because I think a lot of people are thinking the same thing here.
Yeah, and you know, something that I find funny is just in general, Tree is kind of, in my opinion, an overrated player. I think every year he's been picked, he's had an inflated rate. Was that last year or 2 years ago? Where was it Muffin who was a team owner?
Yeah, he's gone for some pretty absurd amounts a lot of seasons. I'm very happy for him this season, as it looks like he's not going to be breaking that, $4 mark. And he's not on the caliber of our tier 1 DPS players, all those 3K plus monsters that we have. And it looks like he's finally going for a more reasonable amount.
Yeah, and I think he's always played mechanically well enough. It's just the teams he's been on, something doesn't click, and it's like
he's been on some very poor teams. He was the only reason that Waifu Superstar 2 could even be competitive last season.
Right.
I cannot upsell how well he played enough. So many of our games last season where we straight up lost a fight, and then Tree would find 3 kills and get us back into the fight just to re-even and re-establish. if he's on a better team with more talents, where he was also the best player on our team last season, and he wasn't the same caliber of any of the other best players in the league. It's looking like he's going to end up with some much more talented players than he's had in the last year, no matter which team he ends up on. So I think he will have a much better season than he did last season.
Yeah, looking at the picks in general, everyone is pretty, all the diamonds, all the high caliber players. There's not any stacked teams. I mean, the only thing that really sticks out in my head is the Free Fee Senpai team, but they also only have 3 players with $4 remaining. Galnier, getting tree.
Yeah, and I think that's a good fit. I think that Tree will fit very well alongside No Wonder as the other DPS.
Oh, yeah, that's actually going to be
Great for
excellent
him.
DPS lineup. Especially since No Wonder likes playing hit scan, and then they also have a very, very good projectile DPS.
Yeah,
They're gonna be
No Wonder
doing
plays hit scan and he plays flanker. And he plays, sniper. And like he can let Tree do his Tree thing.
That team is actually pretty stacked.
That team looks very good. Almost all of those picks have been good value. I'm happy for Tree. It's about time. Not only in all of the Baddy Overwatch leagues has he been overvalued, but he was horrifically overvalued for most of his League of Legends career as well. And he has trucked through with some bad teammates in a lot of seasons. And I think he's finally going to get to play good Overwatch again. And I hope he has fun. So we've got Cruise Master coming up next, another Baddy League long timer.
Just right now, looking at these teams, like the bottom half of this draft list, Galnier's team, Think Twice's team, and Hibbs's team, all look pretty stacked. I mean, Think Twice maybe a little bit below that cut than the other two, but man, I'm calling it now. One of those two teams are going to be the top dog at the end of the season.
Yeah. I'm not willing to put my money on that yet.
There's still, I think there's a lot of variables that we just don't know about right now. In terms of players, people like TV who've only really played one game, the SBL. 30 Dan, for instance, Chromatic hasn't played in a while. There's a lot of question marks.
Wow, Cruz going to Teamic for 25 cents?
Yeah, I really like what Teamic's doing here. He set himself up with a lot of money remaining to have his pick of who he wants to round out the roster with.
Got a couple players that are contending for bottom, or for, that bench spot. We don't know how Clay, the XX is going to do. So who's to say that Cruz is going to beat him out? But yeah, Cruz has a lot more experience in competitive play, has a lot more experience in actually...
It's also really nice to have multiple players potentially competing for that bench slot, because that means if something's not working out, it's much easier just to try a roster swap with that team.
Oh, yeah.
There's some teams where if it's not working out and you just know from the beginning that putting in your bench player is a massive downgrade, it can be kind of suffocating if your team is struggling. And that won't be the case for this team.
Ooh, Dub Drum.
Dub Drum. All right. This is a guy who wants everyone in the world to know he just built a PC recently, like over the summer for the first time, and now he can play Overwatch at more than 20 frames per second. This is a guy who spent 5 years talking about grinding out games and never really has, though. So this is a huge unknown. He tends to be pretty good at the games he plays, which is just League of Legends. He's very good at League of Legends. I could see literally anything with Dub Drum.
All right. It looks like Dub Drum is already going. But I do want to bring one sleeper pick who I believe hasn't actually come up yet. And the reason he's basically the lucky charm, if I remember, it's Crystallize.
Oh, I was thinking someone else when you were saying that. Crystallize is good though.
Am I thinking of someone else? Who are you thinking of?
I am thinking Sword and Mace is still on the roster.
His Sword's won a lot of...
Sword is... if there's someone who
Speaking of sword.
who gets the name the Lucky Charm, speak of the
All he
devil,
does
he's
is
getting
win.
drafted. It's Sword and Mace. He's just performed. It's incredible how he's played. Like it's funny. Everyone looks at his rating. Everyone looks at his rating, his level. He's not necessarily a high caliber player by any means. 2572 is above average though, in terms of every single Overwatch player ever. But he just does his role well. He performs. Like he's not a feeder. He doesn't do stupid shit. Watching him play, he just kind of does what he needs to do at his level.
He's also a very good Lucio player, at least out of anybody else who can play Lucio. And that is actually, since Lucio is coming back into more picks right now, he can be very, very good, especially on control point maps.
Well, keep in mind with that note at the end, he can't play the third match of the season, and playoffs would be an issue for him, possibly.
I don't know, if you can get you a regular season victory, do you really need to win the playoffs?
Yeah, Playoffs are just a formality, right? Just whoever has the best record wins.
Who's the real winner? The people who win the playoffs or the regular season? Now, I don't know about you, but regular season seems to be jiving a little bit more.
Sounds better, at least.
Sounds
when you
better.
say I went 10-0 in the BOL Season 5 Friendship League, bitch. That sounds better than I'm just the champion of the Friendship League,
Yeah, I mean, you won how many games? You went 10-0? Like, shit, son.
By the way, guys, another factor here. Another member of Blabby's Dabs to get put onto Team Dab with Senpai and 3B. So he has synergy with these guys. They know what he likes. He knows what they like. And Sword is a busy guy. He tries to stay relevant in a lot of different games, but he puts in the time for whatever he's playing seriously. He's not going to be a liability for your team. I think for $1, that's a very good pick.
Hibbs' team is they're gonna wreck. Okay, so what?
That was Thor.
Destructive Dude,
That was
Evil
Thor's.
Light, or what? Say again?
That was for Thor, not for
Hibbs.
Never mind, I'm dumb. Not Mighty Wolf. It's just Free Fiend Senpai. Never mind. Still scary.
Mick trying to pick up Spoopy Koopa. I don't think this guy goes for free. He was pretty decent last season. A tank, and until he had to be a Zenyatta for his team, but he definitely came up early.
For being one of the tanks, he should not be going for free.
Yeah, I can't
He
imagine
should
no one else
not
would vote
be
for
going
him.
for free.
We're hitting that point in the draft where everyone starts dicking around with bidding late, but he will not go for free. Maybe one of the most important players remaining. I expect $1.50 to $2 range. Somebody who seems pretty willing to practice and whatnot. We seem to have lost 30 to, I'm guessing, tell his team owner what he wanted to round out his team with.
He legged out, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think he legged out.
At least he legged out originally, but
yeah, he hasn't come back. So
who's to say where he is right now? He's probably in like the Shadow Realm or something.
Oh,
225.
Ooh, wow.
225.
That's his whole. This is his last player.
Yeah,
of
he's
course.
putting his
Yeah.
foot down. He really wants Spoopy.
Makes
Well,
sense.
this is his 7th player, so.
And
Yeah,
if
but
someone else picks him up, that's 250 gone.
What? Pendry is up there, as you said. Crystallize, UTech. You were talking about him. He's still up there.
That Crystallize is one of the last competent DPS players, if you look at it. Like, if you look at the heroes that he specializes in, see if we can find him here. I just had him. Yeah, Crystallize, Widowmaker, Junkrat, McCree, Hanzo. He can play some hit scan, and he can definitely help round out a team that needs the DPS.
Wang! What is happening? Oh my
I'm
God.
actually
Spoopy Koopa to your
okay
team.
with this.
Yeah, no, I think that's a super smart pickup.
I think that's a smart pickup too. Then we have someone. Then hook resets can't take all the glory.
Busting the doors open with this pick here.
I never wanted the glory.
You eventually got to spend the money.
Yeah, that is true.
That rounds things out with what could end up being one of the better tank lines in the
I
league.
was completely thinking it was Crystallized. No, this is Spoopy Koopa. Fuck yeah, Spoopy Koopa. We got ourselves a tank line, boys! But by the way, Spikopa, you're in good hands. We're gonna fucking be tight, super tight. Like we're gonna be fucking like butt buddies for
You
the
know,
next for the season.
I remember making notes on Spoopy Koopa when he played the first like 2 or 3 weeks of the last season, where he had like 7K diva bombs pretty much, and then it stopped.
Early on, yeah. I think people were starting to wise up to how to play more cohesively.
Either that or he just, I don't know, you can get lucky with him.
True.
We'll make sure we'll have that for the whole
Well,
season.
he'll do
don't
them
you worry.
7. Yeah, 100%.
All right, let's talk about this next guy, Pendry, or your Pendry. He sounds familiar. Where have I
He's-
heard him before?
Sin main. He was a massive Sin main when he played originally.
Yeah,
What?
season 3 of the BOL.
Season
This is
3,
the last
yeah.
time he played.
So he took a break and he's back in.
Correct.
As a tank main, it looks like. Tank DPS main. Who's even looking for a tank or DPS at this point? Thor, maybe?
T-Mic, maybe.
T-Mic, maybe?
I mean, he probably already has everybody he wants starting already, so he can just bid up a price on everybody.
T-Mic? Well, T-Mic is team flex. Like, all those players, I mean, Heron is really the only one who's, like, solid in one position. The rest of those players can actually kind of flex to other roles fairly comfortably. I don't even know if T-Mic needs them.
Well, Thor going for the tiebreak here. I think that's gonna go Thor's way. He must feel very
man.
good about this pick.
Yeah, but Thor, that 6th spot, looking for someone to round that out, and he's kind of picking at the bottom of the barrel right now.
Well, let's look at the stats. Stats don't lie. What is stats? What's Pendry's stats? Trying to look at him. Trying to find him.
2,400 this season so far. High rank 2518.
So
Level
not bad.
370. Yeah.
And he can play tank, or yeah, he can play tank. So especially for that team, they needed a tank player. So it's definitely something that they needed, and hopefully is able to create some space for those big DPS players. Like that's gonna be the name of the game for them. For Freefy and Senpai, just give them space and let them do their job.
Yeah.
It's like you don't have to tank if you can aim at the heads. If the enemy team is dead, you don't have to have heals.
You know, looking at the remaining people of this draft, what we got? Salvo, Phoenix Blaze, Dub Drum got drafted, right?
Yeah.
So Scarlet, Splinter, I believe, is still remaining. Mad Cow is remaining. The Gooter. And I guess that's Gotch? Gotch been drafted?
Gotcha's still open. And it looks like Crystallize is gonna get opened up on next. So let's see. We got long time was known for a Mercy player, but I don't think he did a whole lot of Mercy last season. He's got a mix of heroes on there. Rank hasn't been super high.
And he's just going to Hibs because Hibs has the most money.
Oh, that settles that.
Bought
225 sold to Hibs.
I mean, not a bad strat.
Yeah, he knew what he wanted. Probably a smart pickup there.
I mean, if you think about it, Crystallized can play tank if you need a tank.
Well, looking at his, what he has on his best heroes list: Widowmaker, Zarya, Reinhardt, Junkrat, McCree, Hanzo. So it looks like he's looking to be a DPS / tank main for the season.
Right, but all right, they have TV, and Evil Light has been a fairly good Pharah in the past. So
yeah, I mean, tanks are where the well is dry right now. So he's probably going to be forced into that tank's position with Destructive. That'd make the most sense.
And Checkers coming on in. Which one is Checkers? He has to be another one of the rookies.
Yeah, she is another one of our rookies coming in. Friend of Batmel and company. I believe she is a support player. Let me double check. Yeah, she signed up 10 for support and flex. She's got Mercy as her top pick. Currently in gold. says she is usually in Diamond.
I think she took a break and after that wasn't playing like as well as she was, but I think she's still a fine player.
Yeah, support flex. Who knows? Could be a sleeper pick.
All rookies are
level-
sleeper picks.
Level 876. Plays
Lot
a
of time.
lot of Overwatch, so you are getting experience here.
Yep.
User joined your channel.
Nowhere close to Danko and UTech though.
No, not even halfway to Josh Danko territory.
I actually don't even know what my actual level is. I think I just put whatever that number was.
What, you lied? Do we
I
have
don't
to charge
know.
you for perjury, UTech? What
Alright.
the fuck?
I have a silver
Draft.
border. What's silver border?
Restart the whole draft.
We're putting him on trial for perjury. This is turning into a courtroom now.
Guys, I can't play I can't play anymore. I'm going to jail. Good luck.
Get out of here. Checkers. Buck 25.
I'm back.
Oh my
What
god,
is-
30!
Welcome back,
30
30.
is back. Gonna have the best.
What happened?
We drafted some people. You have the team that you told your owner to draft.
Yeah, that is
That is a team
variation.
full of 30 picks, dude. Like, I could have predicted down the line that you would have gone for half of those players late in the draft. I love it.
I don't believe that.
And it looks like Think Twice taking Checkers as the last pick.
Yeah, is that the most money remaining? Yes.
T-Mick,
it is. No,
technically?
T-Mick, looks like Zed forgot to put his pick on there. T-Mick has nothing left. He has a 7-man roster.
Oh, okay.
So that's going to Think Twice for $1.75. Yeah, so I mean, you see that usually diamonds. You take that. That was the right pick there.
Wait, T-Mick has 6 players. Did you say he had 7? What?
Or am I thinking of somebody else
Everyone-
that spends all their money?
Think Twice.
Hibbs.
Think Twice got him.
No, Hibbs has 6 players as well. Oh,
I'm
weird.
yeah.
mixing somebody up. I thought somebody was out of money. But
Think Twice is
I
Gal-
mean,
Oh,
Galnier
Galnier's out of money.
out of money. Yes, Galnier is out of money. And Think Twice has 7 players. Yeah, that was the round out of the roster for Team Think Twice. So he is done drafting. They are ready to start their season.
Interesting team. Chromatic
Well,
and
that's
30
just-
can be all-stars for that team for sure, though.
Yeah, that should be a solid team. It's hard for me to see that team being atrocious.
Probably putting Chromatic on tank, I'm thinking. Unless we're gonna have Thrifty.
Who knows with this one? This one's
30, you should know!
Oh, I know.
Come on!
Well, Hibbs up on the draft. See who he wants to pick. Maybe Mad Cow.
Ooh.
This is a big time variable.
This is he put on his thing Reaper. I think he did another Reaper and then 2 other picks. I don't remember.
He messaged me asking if I was going to have the best Reaper in the league on my team.
Ooh.
That pick scares the hell out of me. I have Reaper PTSD. So this is a guy who was very good at Overwatch when the game first came out and basically hasn't touched it since. So maybe he picks the game up and is actually just very good, or maybe he was just good because no one was any good at Overwatch on release. We don't know. But I am very excited to see him play another game. He's always very exciting at the least when he plays League of Legends.
If he plays Reaper like he plays top lane, no one's gonna have a fucking chance of getting anywhere.
Yeah, that's the thing though, is that you can outplay a Reaper. You can build a comp around it.
Yeah, that's true.
Not on every map. Definitely not on every map.
Oh, and Team Mick has got Cupid Pete. He does the Roomba beat.
Wasn't Cuban P on?
They have put
Josh's
together
team
a
last time.
lot of Jeff from the Overwatch
That's a
team.
lot of Jeff from the
Yeah,
Overwatch.
that looks like Jeff. Yeah, it's basically just Jeff from the Overwatch team.
With
Except for
maybe
with
some
Zed.
slide upgrades.
Heron's an upgrade for sure. Wait, who?
But
Oh no,
the
it's
captain?
Captain. Heron's
they're
replacing
missing-
Captain.
Yeah, that's wow, that's a lot of Jeff from the Overwatch team.
Oh man.
I don't know. Do we wanna spend 25 cents on a grill? That's your choice, Wang. I'm speaking to you right now. And
The
that's
answer is
a
no.
no. That
He's
the
got-
answer is no.
He's got some strategy in his head.
I mean,
sure
that's
shit ain't listening to us.
I mean, hey, 25 cents
Yeah.
per grill. Like, you can cook a lot of things on that grill. Like, you can make steaks, hamburgers, hot dogs. You can even cook corn on it.
All right, well, Wang is up for the draft, going to pick who he wants to pick. Who's it going to be?
Yeah, do we
For-
have we have our pick of any 2 players. So that's cool.
Yeah, $1. I mean, he can put $1 into anyone. Go B Splinter. I mean, most likely.
Yep. That's the tank player that we kind
Or
of need.
put 75 cents into it.
Oh,
Well,
no.
We have tank players.
Yeah, we do have tank players. We just, what?
He might
What
be
are
our
we doing?
secondary DPS.
What are we doing? Is this like a team strat building session right now,
Splinter.
the 4 of us?
I'm
Yo,
Look
he's
at
probably
that,
gonna play our
Splinter.
DPS.
All right, he's going to play out DPS. Got Fair and Soldier out of him, right? Okay, okay.
I didn't
get
even
it.
know that Splinter was in this draft.
in this league.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's in
I
this
was
league.
just I just thought he was just the League of Legends guy, but I forgot that I played with him seasons ago.
UTech, with that pickup, we're officially Team America now. So
You're right.
that's going to be a thing.
So for 0, we just got him, even though people could have bid him up a little bit. I don't
Everyone taking their pick at this point.
Oh, free.
Okay.
This is like a dodgeball lineup.
See.
So we got Spagooter, Scotch, Salvo, and Phoenix Blaze. Everyone's wallet is a little empty here, except for Wang. It was
Yeah,
$1.50.
Wang literally has the pick of the litter right now.
Fuck. The Salvo Splinter synergy.
It could work. Who knows?
Has it worked?
I don't think so.
Have they been on the same team?
Oh wait.
They
yeah,
have,
Oh, wait,
I
no,
have to
no,
play
they're
a
on the-
Back in
SPL
our day.
championship on Tuesday, guys.
Never mind. That's right. They got winning synergy. We got to get him on the team. Salvo.
They've also played a lot of lands together.
See you soon, bud. Bagooter going to Thor. It looks like more than likely.
It's
I mean,
also worth noting that if we pick up Salvo, we could have team overnight practice with guys that can play while I'm at work.
Wait.
Oh, jeez.
Don't you worry. I don't have a sleep or like any schedule, so I can just rearrange that.
Myself, Spoopy, Splinter all work overnights. Salvo sleeps whenever the Adderall lets him. Hook is also a night boy. We could actually have some pretty legitimate practice at night.
Team 4 a.m.
Spagooter, not a bad pickup. Still a competent, very good, competent player.
I get separated.
Gonna be-
Can I leave?
Sold.
All right, so that rounds out
Steam
our
picks up.
team. Maybe our bench, maybe our starter. Who knows?
Who knows?
Depends how good Salvo is, and that's a big variable. But that is Salvo to round out that team. Galnier gets Scotch and Phoenix Blaze to round things out.
Yep.
Is that'd be it?
Yeah, he gets Salvo, and that's the draft. That is the official draft of Season 5 of the Baddy Friendship League.
Yeah, so everyone get in touch with your teams ASAP. Figure out when you're going to practice. Keep in touch with the Discord. You know, anything important is going to end up in the announcements tab. We expect you all to see anything we post to the announcements channel. And good luck this season unless you're playing my team.